What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity? I hope you guys are doing well. With a lot of the conversation and discourse around XDefiant being quite toxic as of late, I wanted to remove toxicity from this video and instead focus on the things that I love about XDefiant, and I hope that you can do the same as well. So in the comment section down below, let me know what is it that you love the most about XDefiant, as I'm going to go through everything that keeps me coming back to this game day in and day out, regardless of how my experience is with some of the problems that this game has. And this video by no means is trying to say that XDefiant is a perfect experience or that it doesn't have flaws. It does. But sometimes we just have to stop looking at the negative all the time and remember that this game has a lot of positives that reinforce why it's so fun. The pros that outweigh those cons. So let's dive into it. The first thing that gets me the most excited about XDefiant is the gunfights, the gunplay in this game. I think that Ubisoft perfectly encapsulated what it means to be an arcade shooter with XDefiant's gunplay. Sure, there are mechanics that people don't like, and that's not what this video is about. I just mean the core gun-on-gun combat is really good. And it's a lot of fun, and it's part of the reason why I keep coming back. And there's, of course, additional depth when you get into the attachments, and I really think that there's a lot more for me to learn, and attachments that are good and attachments that are bad, and it takes some time to just try it out and see what works. It's not an overabundance like some of the competition in this space. There is a perfect amount of attachments, in my opinion, and I think that you just need to test some things out on your own and see what works for you and what doesn't. But when it comes to gunfights, XDefiant delivers, and that's one of the best things that this game has going for it. The guns feel like they have punch to them. The sound design is unbelievable when it comes to the guns. Something else that this game absolutely knocks out of the park is maps and map design. There is something special about the maps here in XDefiant, and I feel as if there's going to be a recurring theme through these maps. I said it with the Season 1 announcement. The maps feel like they're ripped straight out of this game, and that's perfect. There's already a sense of identity when you hop into an XDefiant map. It doesn't feel like the same tired and true way that other games do their map design. XDefiant has a little bit more pop, a little bit more flair. There's a nice mesh of colors and practicality and just overall ambiance to each map. And no two maps feel alike, which I absolutely adore. It feels like every single map you play is distinctly different. And whether you're playing a map that is designed specifically for some modes like Zone Control and Escort, or the more arcade modes like Occupy and Domination, each map has its own distinct identity that obviously delivers itself to its origin depending on what Ubisoft game it came from, but they still are all special in their own way. I do think that we already have several classic maps here that we're going to be going back to playing and rejoicing about for years to come. And that's fantastic. And speaking of those maps, the game modes in XDefiant, well, a little bit less than what I'm sure some of us would like. Obviously, CTF is on the way, but they've delivered it here. Obviously, a team deathmatch and a free-for-all would be fantastic, but I'm sure those are going to come in the future. But when it comes to the 5 core modes of this game, the launch modes, I think they really delivered with some flair and some diversity as well. Yes, Escort's straight out of Overwatch. I don't really care. It's a fun game mode. And the fact that there's maps that are associated with just Escort and some that are associated with just Domination is a really nice way of diversifying the overall experience. And I love that XDefiant focused on objective-based gameplay for its launch modes, because now people know what XDefiant is. At its core, it's an objective-based game. There isn't as much individualism as you've seen in other games in some of their competition, and that's nice to see. It's all about bringing a team together, working together towards a common goal, and that goal is either escorting a package, controlling some type of zone, or collecting more dog tags than your enemies. And all the game modes work cohesively together, and the maps obviously work very well with them as well. Now, I'm not normally the biggest hero shooter kind of guy. Like, I never really got into Overwatch. It wasn't one of my favorite games. Sure, I played a few games here and there. But the way that XDefiant has perfectly crafted and joined the arcade shooter with a hero type of shooter has been really nice to see. I feel as if, for the most part, the abilities are really nicely balanced. Obviously, we all know there's one that feels a little bit more overpowered than the others. But outside of that, I would say the majority of the abilities are very nicely balanced, and they're not going to necessarily turn the tide of a game for one player. Now, a team that coordinates their abilities properly, yeah, they're going to have a distinct advantage over a team that is a bunch of single players, a bunch of solo queue players. And that's the competitive advantage you get for playing with a team versus solo queuing. And the other thing that I've always been apprehensive about is ultras. You know, these free kills you give out just for arbitrarily racking up a timer or a meter. But the ultras in XDefiant don't feel too oppressive. They feel rewarding when you earn them, but they don't feel too oppressive to go against. It's not like you can't kill the person that has an ultra. And that's the beauty here, is they all have their own power, but they also have their own drawbacks. You can only do so much with each ultra, and they last for what I would argue is the perfect amount of time. I never really feel as if the sonar goggles are on too long, or the Phantom's bubble shield is around just a little too long. I feel as if they've done a really good job of making sure the ultras don't overpower the game, but utilized as a tool to help shift the tide if necessary. And that's wonderful. Speaking of things that are wonderful, the developer feedback we've seen in XDefiant, and it's something that I've talked about at length, so I'm going to keep it nice and short here. But the fact that it feels that the developers are constantly listening to the community and interacting with us while also being transparent is awesome. And it's such a breath of fresh air, and it's such a change from what we've seen in the past from other companies across this genre and across the industry as a whole. So I'm very happy that Ubisoft seems to be taking a very hands-on approach to working with the community. Really nice to see. Now let's talk a little bit about the challenge system in this game. Something that I'm always a little worried about when there's a free-to-play game with a bunch of in-game purchases involved. I was very worried that a lot of the unlocks would be just trapped behind a paywall. Oh, you want to unlock this player or this character or this weapon, give us money. But everything in XDefiant, other than a few skins so far, have been earnable. Every character is unlockable by completing challenges, and it actually demands you to not just sit within the same faction using the same ability every game. If you want to unlock all the characters, you have to use all the different factions, utilize all the different abilities, and complete the challenge associated with those abilities to unlock the character. That was really nice. Same thing went with the weapons. You get a base weapon for each weapon class, but to unlock the other weapons, you have to complete a series of challenges. And the challenges are easy to complete in some cases, and in others a little bit tougher. But they're all rewarding at the same time. And it's like, wow, I actually worked towards something that game. And it's rewarding, which is just shocking in today's environment. So it's nice to see. It's not just, hey, get to level 20, get your AK. It's more like utilize the M4 to unlock the AK, to unlock the ACR. And then slowly but surely you're going to unlock the MDR and so on and so forth. And I really like their approach to the challenge system here in XDefiant, because they could have utilized it as a way to just make more money. But instead what they do is they incentivize the player to keep playing so that they can unlock new characters and new weapons. Nicely done. And of course, we all know this game has no skill-based matchmaking, which has been awesome. Yes, there's games where I do really, really bad. There's games where I do quite well. There's games in the middle where I feel as if I'm right where I should be. And then, of course, I see myself actively getting better at this game and not being punished for it. And there's a ton of success stories out there, whether it's over on Twitter or Reddit, of people that have grinded already from having a sub 1 KD to having a 1.3, 1.4 by learning and mastering certain elements of this game. Something you don't hear a ton about in other competition out there that incorporates skill-based matchmaking, because the focus isn't on you getting better, the focus is on you playing more. And I don't really know how the two correlate. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. We've talked a ton about skill-based matchmaking on this channel, and I frankly am tired of talking about it. Back when XDefiant first released its beta, there was something with the beta that I don't think a lot of people expected, and that was the training zone. And that is one of the beautiful additions that XDefiant has that I love in this game. I'll go in there, try out some new attachments, try out a new weapon, try to learn the recoil patterns, try different gunfight mechanics out, try little things here and there just to even get better at the game. And for me, I think it's really helped. And I just love the fact that they added it in there as a, hey, just play around, have fun. Now, obviously, it would also be nice if there was a private match where you could load up some bots, but I do find that the training area is quite nice. It's a nice little addition to the game, and I hope they continue to build on it. As it states when you load up the game, it is a work in progress. So hope to see them continuing to add to it and let it grow organically. While we're on the topic of growing organically, let's talk about how they're handling new content in XDefiant. We just got the release of the first teaser trailer for Season 1 of XDefiant, and in it we found out 3 new maps are coming, 3 new weapons, a brand new faction, and I just love the fact that they're being so consistent with their content. They're saying, hey, every single month you're going to get a brand new map. There's going to be new weapons for you to unlock. The new factions there for you to unlock as well. And that's going to come to you every 3 months. They're handling post-launch content really well. We're getting CTF, which is great. It sounds like there's a new mode called Bomb in the works. And of course, I think they are working towards a TDM and free-for-all game mode as well. There's a lot of new content coming, and I think it's a good time to be excited about this game. And part of that is because they are focused on continuing this game to grow and continue on a positive trajectory. And I think that's fantastic. I'm both hopeful and curious to see where this game is in a year's time. I really hope those comments out there of this game dying within the next few months aren't true. And I hope that we get to see the true vision that Ubisoft has for this game, because I think it can be something truly special. And the last thing I want to leave this on is something that came to me while I was making this video. And it's something that I overlook sometimes, but I'm very, very happy it's in the game. And it's a very simple gameplay addition that many of you might not notice, but I definitely notice it. And that's enemy visibility. There are other games on the market right now that have done such a poor job of ensuring that you know that that person coming at you is an enemy. And XDefiant has knocked it out of the park. It's not aggressive, it's not overbearing, but it at least signifies right away, hey, this is an enemy, shoot them. They quote the outline of the character in red. You can see the red writing, or if you're using colorblind settings, the different colors of writing from your team. And that's wonderful. Obviously, it'd be nice if there was some collision, but that's neither here nor there. The focus of this video is the fact that they've done things that make playing this game easier, instead of trying to just hide behind making the overall look of players a little cleaner. It doesn't matter. It's an arcade shooter. I'm glad that they're identifying, hey, this is an enemy, this is a friendly. But that's honestly all I have right now. I'm sure there'll be more things that come to me as I'm finishing this video up or as I continue to play later today. But this is my thoughts on the things that I love about XDefiant. And it's time for you to share yours. I asked at the start of the video, I will ask again here at the end of the video. What is it that you love the most about XDefiant? What is it that keeps you coming back to this game? Why do you truly believe in this game to succeed? All of those notes, all of those thoughts, leave them down below in the comment section, and I'm looking very forward to hearing from you. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, can you please hit that like button? If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.